Hello ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between, and none of the above, welcome back to We Love Your Deck. For today's Deck Building Tips Thursday, where every week we'll be going over budgetary additions to your Commander decks, today is the start of working on helping players put together a card draw package for their decks. Starting with Mono White, and while people say that White doesn't have card draw, it does, but not in ways that players may like, and it is often tied to the strategies that White is interested in. One such strategy is life gain, which some see as boring, but White is the best at it, such as with the Gaffer will draw you a card if you've gained 3 or more life during a turn. Or Dawn of Hope, which you can pay mana for as you gain life to draw a card. And Sigarda's Splendor will draw you a card during each of your upkeeps if it was more than the amount of life you had at the beginning of your last turn. If you'd rather not focus on life gain, Voltron strategies with Puristeel Paladin will draw you a card each time an equipment enters under your control. Similar is Shram, Senior Edificer, which, on top of equipment, will draw you cards for auras and vehicles as well. If you'd prefer more than one creature or one huge modified creature, White is also capable of going wide with small tokens. With Mentor of the Meek, you can pay into it, and then Benny Brax, Zoologist, will draw you a card during each end step if you made a token. Similarly, there's Staff of the Storyteller that will put story counters on it each time you make a creature token and use those counters to draw a card. White is also quite capable of being aggressive as well, thanks to all of these tokens with cards like Glimmer Lens, which will draw you a card if the creature it's equipped to is along with at least one other creature. Along with Firemane Commando, you will also do the same then if an opponent attacks an opponent with 2 or more creatures and not attacking, you will also draw them a card. Finally, there are the political cards that will draw you and other players' cards. With Cut a Deal, you will have each opponent draw a card, then draw yourself a card for each opponent that drew a card. And Secret Rendezvous will draw you and an opponent 3 cards each. Or to slow your opponents down, Margara, the Diplomat will draw you a card if an opponent attacks you with 2 or more creatures as well as draw you a card if an opponent casts their second spell in a turn. For now that covers things. Next week we'll be going over blue card draw. I'll be putting together a package on my Moxfield that will be updated over the coming weeks. Since you made it this far, why not give me a follow? If there's any deck building help you'll want, ask away in the comments. And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side, Planeswalkers. And remember, be good to each other.